Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon everyone. So today we will continue our lesson for UKQE 3001 Extracurricular Experiential Learning Excel. Today we will learn about learning through reflection. So this lesson is really important for you for your first assignment, which is all about writing a reflection of your Excel activities. Okay? So without further ado, let us proceed. Right. So there are too many students have no idea why they are learning what they are learning, how they can apply that knowledge in real life situation, and how everything they learn and experience is interconnected in a personal journey. Okay? So I'm sure that maybe some of you have you have no idea what is the things that we have been learned in your activity, and how you want to apply that kind of skills, that kind of factors, or that kind of graduate attributes in your real life situation, and how everything that you are learning which will interconnect to you in your personal journey as a person or as an employee later on in your career. Alright, so an experience that is repeated without reflection is just a repetition, which does not help you to learn. So in order for you to learn about the lesson that you have been experienced in your activities, you need to do some reflections, okay? So if you have an experience which is repeated again and again and again without any reflections, it means that it does not have to help you to learn. So you don't learn anything if you do some activities and you don't reflect from that. Okay, so in the other words, you don't learn anything from that. Okay, but if you conduct, or if you experience some activities and you reflect from that, it means that you learn something from the activities. Right. So next, what is actually the definition of reflections? So reflection can be defined as engaging in a cognitive process and can be conducted through individual inquiry or in collaboration with others. Okay, so the definition of reflection is all about the cognitive process. So the way that you interact, you interact with the activities, and you inquire yourself. So this activity, what I have done. So what are the things that I need to execute in order for me to join these activities? Or you can also discuss with others. So we does this activity. So what are the importance of this activity? And what are the objective of these activities? Okay, so that is reflections, all right? So you must engage with yourself or other people in order for you to learn about what are the purpose of the activities, the objective of the activities, and how you can relate those activities with the graduate attributes later on. Right? So that is the definition of reflection. Alright, next. Reflection has an important role to play in learning and self-development. So reflection could be described as thinking with a purpose, being critical but not negative, analyzing how effective your learning is, questioning and probing, and making judgment and drawing conclusions. Right? So if we wanted to learn, okay, when we are doing some activities, we need to do reflection. Right? So reflection is very important in order for you to learn, and also you wanted to develop yourself. Right? So in order for you to do some reflection, you must thinking with a purpose. Okay, so for example, as I've been mentioned before, the objective of the activities. So you must thinking, is it the right things? Is it the right objective for these activities? Oh, if it is right, it means that you can take that as a lesson, right? And the second one is being critical but not negative. So being critical is all about, evaluating the activities that you have done, right? But not in negative way. But for example, oh, this activity doesn't have any benefit at all. No, you cannot do that, because every activity has its own advantage. So you must being critical. Okay, you must analyze in detail, but not in negative way, right? So the third one is analyzing how effective your learning is. All right. So next is when you are doing activities, or when you reflect back and when you remind back on what is your activities, you must analyze, is this activity effective? All right, and I think so. Why? So you must analyze it. Why, how, when. So that is how you analyze the effectiveness of your Excel activities. All right. And then next one is questioning and probing. So this is all about questionings. So it is all about why we do this activity, how we are doing it, right? So how we can improve it. So that is questioning. Okay. And next one is, the last one is making judgment and drawing conclusions. All right. So when you do this part of the activities, you make judgment. So do I do it correctly, or does other person do it correctly? And from that you can make a conclusion. So I think this activity benefit me the most, and etc, etc, etc. So that is how you can make some judgment and drawing some conclusions from your activities. So this is all the part of the reflection that you need to do. All right, next, why is reflection important? So why actually we need to do some reflection of our activities? All right, so the first benefit is reflecting helps you to develop your skills and review their effectiveness, rather than just carry on doing things as you have always done them, right? So reflection is all about for you to realize that, oh, this activity has improved specific skills that you have, right? So from there, you can also improve more on your skills, all right? Rather than just, okay, I do this activity and I'm done, that's it. So you don't reflect with that, and you don't realize what kind of skill that you have improved. All right. So next is, it is about questioning in a positive way. All right. So you must remember, you can question your activity, but you must do it in a positive way. All right. Because we need to live a positive life. So we need to have a positive opinion or positive questions, so that we will be able to lead a happy and exciting life. All right. So what you do and why you do it, and deciding, all right, whether there is a better or more efficient way of doing it in the future. So if you realize that, okay, this activity is good, but it can be improved, so you can do it in your reflection, and you will be able to improve the quality of the activity in the future, right? So that is the way, and that is why the reflection is important for you. All right. So what is actually the foundation of reflections? So reflection can be a great tool for students to build confidence and improve in a variety of areas. All right. So if you do some reflections, all right, for example, before this, you are an introvert person, and you are not interested in joining any activities. But this Excel, it is like forcing you to join some activities. And then after you do this activity, you do the reflection. Okay. When you do the reflections, right? Oh, actually, I am also can join this activity. I also can join this activity. Instead that I am an introvert person, but I still can join some extra activities, some outdoor activities. So it means that I can fix my introvert, introvert behavior, so that I can improve myself to become more presentable, and also to become more exposed to other people. All right. Okay, next. Reflection is a process that requires stimulation, reinforcement, supervisions, and training. So if you do the reflection, you need a stimulation. For example, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, or what you feel. So that is reflections, all right? So the role of the lecturer should create a learning environment where students feel comfortable in expressing their thoughts and reflecting their actions. So lecturer actually, they need to create some some environment which makes the students to be comfortable with them, so the student will tend to share something that they feel to the lecturer. So the lecturer must create that kind of environment, so that the student can feel comfortable with them, and reflection can be done, right? So next is peer interaction also play an important role. So sharing reflection, feeling, ideas, and experiences with others is a fundamental step in giving meaning to the learning process and students' experience, and ultimately creating reflective processes where the points of view of others are assimilated, exchanged, and analyzed. Right? So when you do reflection, you can or you are encouraged to ask others' opinion. Okay, others, it means that maybe that kind of people have joining the same activity with you, or maybe they have joined that activity previously. Okay, so you can share this reflection. Okay, for example, okay, Ahmad, I've joined this activity, you have joined it, right? Okay, and then you share your opinion. So I think this activity is good in this one, in this one, in this one. And then maybe Ali or Ahmad can also share his opinion to you, and from that you can make a conclusions, or you can make an analysis. All right, so that is where reflection comes from. Okay, all right. So in order for you to do reflection in your first assignment for this subject, you need this framework. Okay, so this framework is called the 5R framework for reflection. Okay, so the 5R framework for reflection will guide you through reporting, responding, relating, reasoning, and reconstructing to make sense of a learning experience. So after this, I will explain to you each R element of the 5R framework. All right, okay. So 5R framework for reflection. So the first one is reporting. So you must reporting of the context of the experience. For example, okay, I've joined this activities. This activities is done for example, UTM. What is the date? What is the day? And for example, if it is related to the weather, you can mention the weather. So all is all about the reporting. Okay, the context of the experience. All right, next is the responding. Responding is all about for you to what is your sensory, okay, sensory information. For example, okay, so this activity, what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what is your thoughts of that activities. So that is the second R for reflection, the framework. Okay, so the second R is responding, how you respond to the activities. Okay, all right. Next is the relating. So relating is all about you must relate the experience to knowledge and skills you already have. Okay, for example, if you're joining the voluntary activities in order for you to paint or painting a mural, for example, okay, so you can relate with your art skills. Okay, so right now, so this activity is all about drawing a mural activity for kindergarten. Okay, so this activity is very related to me because I am an art person. I have a good skills in drawing, good skills in coloring, and so on. So you must relate that activity with your knowledge or skills that you realize that you already have. All right. So the fourth 5R framework is reasoning. Okay, so reasoning is all about you are discussing or you are thinking about the significant factors or theory to explain the experience. For example, all right, so this activity, what they call the painting the mural for kindergarten, is done because we wanted to create a cheerful environment for the kids. Okay, so that is the reasoning. So you make a reason with the activities. All right, not you make a reason, but you come up with a reason of the factors from the activity, the objective of the activity. So why does it has that kind of objective? Why does we need to do this in order for us to achieve the objective? Right, so that is all about the reasoning. Okay, and then reconstructing. So reconstructing is actually like a suggestion for future improvement. Okay, all right, so if you say or if you observe that, oh, this activity is good but it needs some improvement, so you can also mention in your reflection. All right, so in your what do you call assignment later on, you must have all of these elements. Okay, the first is the reporting. You report what you have see or what you have the general information about your activities. Okay, and then you're responding, okay, or to the experience, your sensory, you see, you hear, you feel, okay, what you do, right? Relating, which is all about you relate with what do you already have. Reasoning is you find some explanation of the activities. And reconstructing is all about for you to give some suggestion of the activities, okay, in order for you to improve this activity, in order for you to improve the output of the activities. For example, this activity is used to improve the communication skills, but it can be improved by etc, 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 your suggestion lah, right? So this is all about the detail of reporting. So here you can present the context with little or no comment or interpretation of the experience. Okay, so this is some of the example of the reporting. So what to do? Okay, a brief description of the experience or problem or issues. What is included in the reporting is the key elements of the situation that are essential for you to communicate the context to reader. All right, and also some helpful questions. So what happened in your activities? What are the key aspects of this situation? Who was involved and what did I do? Okay, so all of these three elements is all about reporting. Okay, you can refer to this part of the reporting in order for you to do the reporting part in your reflection. Okay, so the first part of your reflection is all about reporting. Right, so the second part of your reflection is all about responding. Okay, so here you can present your reaction or response to the situation. Okay, so this can also be your thoughts, your feelings, and your observations about the activities. Okay, so what to do is you need to provide your personal response to the situation. So in my opinion, this activity is just yada yada yada, so you can mention that. Okay, so what is included is your feelings. You must include your feeling and thoughts about the experience, as well as any observation and potential question that you have. All right, so next is helpful question that you can use. Okay, so how did what happened make me feel? What did I think? What made me think and feel this way? So this is some of the helpful questions that you can use in order for you to fulfill the second part of the 5R framework for reflection, which is responding. Alright, so next is relating. So here you can relate your experience of the reported situation with your knowledge and skills. Alright, so for example, what to do is you must provide your understanding on how the situation relates to your own knowledge and past experiences. And what you must include is you must include your feeling and thoughts. Okay, your connection between your past experience, your skill, your knowledge, your understanding, and the situation itself. So okay, this situation, what is the relation between your knowledge, your feelings, your thoughts? Okay, so next is the helpful questions. Okay, so that the helpful question that you can use is, have I seen this before? If I have seen it, where? And you can explain in your relating, which is the third part of your 5R framework. Okay, and then what was similar or different then? So do I have skills and knowledge to deal with this? Okay, all right, so the key language points that you need to do is you are commenting on an experience from the past, but in the present you should consider writing in the present tense. So helpful present, so you can use these key language points in your reflection. All right, so this is all about the third R of your 5R framework. Right, so this is the fourth one, reasoning. So here you can make sense of the situation in terms of significant factors and, if relevant, for example, if requested in assessment, the theoretical literature relevant to your experience. So if your experience is all about, you are joining an innovation competition, so you can also include some of the literature elements. For example, I have joining this engineering competition, so this engineering is all about petroleum, so you explain a little bit about petroleum, so that is your knowledge. All right, so what to do is explore and explain the situation or experience, and what is included is you must include the significant factors within the situation and how they are important to understanding what is happening. All right, and some of the helpful question is, what is the most important aspect of the situation and why? So that is all about reasoning. So is there any theoretical literature that can help me make sense of the situations? Okay, so why does this situation happening? So you must find a reason from that. Okay, all right, next, how do different perspectives, for example personal as a student or professional, affect the way that I understand the situation, and how would someone who is knowledgeable about this type of situation respond? Okay, so you must find factors, a reason on why that situation or this situation is happening. Okay, so it is all about the reasoning, which is the fourth part of your 5R framework. And this is the last one, is reconstructing. So here you can make a conclusion about your future plans based on the previous 4 sections. So from the previous 4R, okay, the last one is you can make a conclusion and you can suggest. Okay, so what to do is you can reframe or reconstruct future practice by drawing conclusions from the 4 previous stages. and you can also use this to develop an action plan on what to do next. All right. And what is included is you must give the input of your deeper understanding and summary of the learning, and you will also have to include an action plan arguing for why it will work. Okay, so that can be based on literature included in the previous stage or from the new knowledge gained from the relating and reasoning stages. And then some of the helpful question that you can use is, how will I need to do this differently in the future, and what might work and why, and are there different options? So that is your suggestions. All right, so are my ideas supported by the theory, or you can also relate it to some of the theory that you know, and can I make changes to benefit others? So your suggestion, it can be also, as I mentioned before, to improve the skills that the students or the audience that can get from the activities, and you can also make changes from that, right? So, and the last one is what might happen if, okay, what might happen if I did this, and this, right? So you can use this helpful question in order for you to design your reconstructing phase in your what do you call reflection later on, right? Okay, so in your reflection later on, you must include all of these 5 elements. You must do the reporting, you must do the responding, you must do the relating. So I think the relating is all about you relate with the graduate attributes that I've been mentioned and explained to you before, right? So you must relate with the graduate attributes, okay? And next is the reasoning, and the last one is the reconstructing, which is your conclusions, all right? So this is the requirement for your first assignment, which is to do reflection and for you to relate your reflection with this element. Okay, it must be in sequence. The first one is reporting, then the second one is responding, the third one is relating, the fourth one is reasoning, and the last one is reconstructing. Okay, all right, so I think this is all for the learning through reflections. All right, so I hope that you can learn from this, and I hope that this will help you a lot in your first assignment, which is to do the reflection. All right, I think that's all from me. Thank you and have a good day ahead.